There's one mistake I see all the time, and it shows up in a dozen small ways. If you're still living in the house while trying to sell it, good. But that mistake can destroy your home's value. Most people don't even realize they're doing anything wrong, but the signs are there. And nobody even talks about what this really looks like when foreclosure is creeping in. Let's walk through it together, because I'm going to show you what works and backfires and what could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. This is what it looks like in real life. I walked into a showing once. The kitchen smelled like takeout. Half the lights were off, and there were bills shoved into a drawer just near the door. The seller was still there, physically there, but emotionally, he'd already checked out. And then you think buyers didn't even notice this? That house sat on the market for 6 weeks. The offer that finally came in was $28,000 under asking, and for no reason that couldn't have been eliminated. The tricky part is that buyers won't tell you what's wrong. They're embarrassed. They won't say, hey, it smells like stress in here, or this house feels abandoned. They'll just smile and nod and just plainly disappear. And if an offer finally shows up, if it even shows up at all, it's already $20,000 to $40,000 lower than it could have been. Not because of the walls or the layout, but because of how the place felt to them. That's the kind of stuff that sellers miss all the time. And unfortunately, it costs them real money. This isn't about judgment. It's about how buyers read the energy of your home and not just the features. And when it feels like the seller's drowning, buyers see an opportunity to prey or pull back or even lowball. Here's something most homeowners don't even know. Buyers are looking at your house while imagining their life. They're not thinking about your story. They're wondering if their furniture fits, if their kids will play here, if it feels like a home to them. When a home is clean and calm, even if it's older, it tells buyer this property has been cared for. And that means less risk for them. But when it's cluttered or chaotic, they start seeing dollar signs for repairs, even if nothing technically is broken. It's not about hiding the fact that you live there. It's about guiding the emotional experience the buyers has walking through the door. Now let's flip that around. You might be thinking whether you should move out. And honestly, I get it. You're probably tired and you want this to be over with. But moving out too early can actually hurt your sale and your bottom line also. Because a vacant home feels cold. It raises red flags sometimes, like, is this a distressed sale? Are they desperate to sell? Is foreclosures already in play? But when you stay and you stay strategically, you can keep it clean, keep it presentable, and make the house feel like a place someone wants to actually live in. If you're still living there, I want you to flip the switch in your head. This is no longer just your home. This is your biggest financial asset right now. Every light you leave off, every stack of mail, every sign of stress, it all costs you your bottom line. Treat it like a property you're managing, not just surviving in. That one shift alone, it can protect what you walk away with when the sale closes. Let's talk about what actually matters and what doesn't. What needs to be fixed or clean is lighting, clutter, curb appeal, any previous damage that screams neglect. Don't worry about expensive upgrades, full unstaging. And if you're sitting there thinking, I can't afford to fix anything right now anyway, you're one of many, and honestly, that might actually be the best thing, because there's a way to sell without making major repairs, and in some cases, buyers actually prefer it that way. I break all of that down in this video. Can't afford to fix your house? That might be the best thing. You'll want to watch that next, especially if your budget is tight. If you can't afford to fix much, that's okay, because buyers are forgiving if they feel like you haven't given up on the house yet. Let's go back to that dozen small ways that destroys your home value. Here's what they usually are: bills left out, messy counters, dim lights, pets everywhere, stress in the air, oversharing your financial story with buyers, telling your agent too much about your situation. Let me give you a tip that can save you a ton of negotiating power. Don't overshare your financial situation. Yes, be honest with your agent, but you don't need to tell buyers that you're behind on payments or that you're out of time or that you'll take anything. That info gets passed around so fast. Buyers will use it to justify lower offers, and agents will sense your stress and start pushing timelines. And all of a sudden, you're cornered, even if your house deserves more value and more money. So disclose what's legally required. Keep your financial urgency between you and your agent. And if your agent doesn't know how to manage that, then you need a better agent. Letting the house feel forgotten. This doesn't make you a bad seller, just makes you human and stressed. But those little things add up. They send buyers the message like, this house is a problem. We need to flip that script. Now here's why timing matters. And I see this mistake constantly. When a home sits unsold and the owner is behind on payments, the stress doesn't just grow. The situation actually gets worse. Late fees pile up, legal fees from the lender get added to the payoff. You lose negotiation time. And the longer it sits, the more buyers start asking, what's wrong with this place exactly? Even if nothing's changed inside the home, just the time on market and the pressure behind it can knock $20,000 to $50,000 off your sale. That's why staying in the home isn't the problem at all. Waiting too long to show it right is the problem. So yes, you can stay in your home while selling. In fact, it might be your best move as long as you're intentional though. Live there like you've already emotionally moved out. Keep it clean, keep it ready. And don't let the buyers feel your stress. Let them feel your home's value, because there is value. Every single day you stay there, you're either helping your sale or hurting it. If you're still living in the house and you're trying to sell it, now you know how to do it right. But if you're wondering, well, what happens if I don't sell in time? Or do I even get anything if it does go to foreclosure? Here's the part nobody talks about. Selling while you're still living in the home, that's not your biggest risk. The real danger is what happens if the sale doesn't happen fast enough. Because every day that the house sits, more pressure builds, the lender sticks on fees, the payoff grows, buyers start sensing urgency, and they respond with low offers or no offers at all. And if the clock runs out before the closing, most homeowners assume that they at least walk away with something. But it's not how foreclosure works, and the surprise waiting at the end, it's one most sellers never see coming. So before you make any decisions, watch this. Do you get any money if your house is foreclosed? It's not just maybe for a lot of people. It's the difference between walking away with cash or walking away with nothing. Because if you think that the bank is going to hand you a check,